What if a single, chilling photograph held the key to a decades-old mystery? This is the story of a disappearance that shook a community, a haunting image, and a break in the case that arrived 35 years too late. Every true mystery has elements that seem pulled from a thriller novel. The case of Tara Calico is one such story, a tale of a vanishing during a simple bike ride, a cryptic picture found miles away, and a pursuit for answers that has endured for generations. This is a deep dive into the facts, the fear, and the enduring question. What really happened that morning? The morning of September 20th, 1988, dawned with a quiet simplicity over Rio Communities, New Mexico. For 19-year-old Tara Calico, it was a day for routine. An avid runner and cyclist, she set out on a familiar 36-mile route, intending to be back in a couple of hours. This time, she chose her mother's bicycle, a noticeably pink Huffy, because her own had a flat tire. It was a simple, almost mundane detail that would later become a cornerstone of a national mystery. She was last seen alive pedaling down that lonely stretch of Route 47, the desert landscape stretching out around her. Then came the witness accounts, the first cracks in the facade of a normal day. Residents reported seeing her, and then seeing a light-colored pickup truck, described as an older model Ford, behaving erratically. It wasn't just passing by, it was following her. The driver's intentions seemed menacing, a predator slowly closing in. And then, both the girl on the pink bicycle and the truck vanished into the vast New Mexican silence. When Tara failed to return home, the panic was immediate. Her family knew her to be responsible and strong. Her absence was a deafening alarm bell. The search began swiftly, combing the arid terrain along her route. What they found was not Tara, but a narrative of struggle. Scattered near the roadside were the fragile, plastic fragments of a Walkman cassette player, smashed as if by force. The cassette tape that had been inside was also found, its magnetic ribbon pulled out and tangled, a silent testament to a sudden and violent interruption. The most chilling discoveries were yet to come. While initial reports were conflicted, the official investigation would confirm the recovery of a pink bicycle and personal items bearing her initials. These weren't just lost objects. They were clues placed on a grim canvas, painting a terrifying picture of a struggle against an unknown force. The peaceful bike ride had transformed into a crime scene. But the story of Tara Calico was destined to evolve from a local tragedy into an American enigma. 1 year later, in June 1989, hundreds of miles away in a Florida parking lot, a woman made a bizarre discovery. It was a Polaroid photograph, seemingly discarded on the ground. The image within was so shocking she immediately turned it over to law enforcement. The photo was a snapshot of pure dread. It showed a young woman, perhaps in her late teens, lying on the floor of what appeared to be the back of a van. Her mouth was covered with silver duct tape. Her hands were tied above her head. Her eyes held a look of terrified resignation. Beside her, partially visible on the floor, was the cover of a novel, My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews, a book Tara was known to have been reading at the time of her disappearance. The resemblance was staggering. Tara's mother, upon seeing the photo, was initially convinced it was her daughter. The hair, the complexion, the hauntingly familiar posture felt like a message from the void. But as the photo was analyzed, doubt began to creep in. The image was grainy, the lighting was poor, and the girl's features were partially obscured. Some experts pointed to slight discrepancies, suggesting it might not be her. The FBI eventually stated they could not conclusively verify the subject's identity. Over the years, the photograph became a Rorschach test of grief and speculation. Was it a cruel hoax, a sick joke played by strangers? Or was it a genuine, desperate cry for help? A fleeting glimpse into a nightmare, captured in an instant and lost just as quickly? The Calico family themselves have grappled with this uncertainty, forever caught between the desperate hope that it was her a sign she was alive and the horrifying reality that it would imply. For over 3 decades, the case grew cold, a haunting open wound for the community and all who followed it. The evidence sat silent, the leads dried up, and the mystery seemed destined to remain unsolved. Then, in a stunning announcement in June of 2023, law enforcement revealed a potential breakthrough. Officials stated they had identified a suspect and gathered evidence they believed was strong enough to finally bring the case before a district attorney for a review of potential charges. After 35 years, a flicker of hope emerged. But in a frustrating twist for a public craving answers, all details were immediately sealed by the court. The suspect's name, the new evidence, everything was locked away to protect the integrity of the investigation, leaving the world with more questions than answers. As of now, the case remains in the hands of prosecutors, its fate uncertain. The wait for justice continues. What do you think happened to Tara Calico? Does the Polaroid hold the truth, or was it a tragic red herring? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you have any information, no matter how small, you are urged to contact the official top line. Some mysteries are too important to forget.